All right, guys, the right arm in the downswing. I know a lot of you guys out there are struggling, starting to feel like you're casting the club in the downswing. The right arm starts to straighten out a little bit too early and the right wrist flattens out a little bit too early. Well, I'm gonna go over a couple simple drills, an easy way to think about this. And once we get the right idea, when we practice these drills, it's gonna be very easy to get the right arm working perfectly and to get that power in throughout the shot. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so it's actually really simple. Once we feel the extremes of what the right wrist and the right elbow should be doing, it's very easy to get in a good position. So one of the things that I see players when they're making their downswing that are struggling kind of casting that club, there's a couple motions that end up happening. So if we start to cast this club early, we're losing some lag, we're not getting that sharp angle here and then releasing it down at the ball, we're burning up all our speed before we get to impact. Big time loss of speed. And it really gets familiar with getting the elbow in and then getting the wrist laid back, which they're kind of counterintuitive, to be honest. So the main thing that I see is instead of the elbow tucking in, so if you watch a lot of great players, Adam Scott, look at Tiger from the early 2000s, Ben Hogan, whoever you want to pick that's a great ball striker, one of the first moves they're doing as they're starting their downswing is getting their right elbow to come in front of their body. Naturally, we think of, I'm going to go ahead and hit this ball like I'm going to punch the ball with my right side of my body, and when I do that, watch my elbow, it starts to come out away from my body. So if you imagine I had a laser shooting right out of the tip of my elbow toward the camera right now. Well, if I start to let my elbow come behind my body like that, then what's going to happen is that laser will be shooting this direction, directly behind me. What I want to do is imagine I have that laser shooting in front of my hip. So now it would be coming down in front of my right leg, or at least to the front side of my right hip. Now I want those hips to be opening. I don't want to keep my body back and to stay, I'm going to do this to get my elbow in front. I see a lot of players doing that when they're trying to get the elbow in front. They just stop their body and try to move their arms down, but that's kind of like throwing across your body. It's going to be very uncomfortable. We're going to go ahead and let those hips continue to open, but at the same time, we're going to get that laser pointing in front of our right hip there. The second piece is getting tight with the right hand. I want you to do this for me. Go ahead and make a fist as tight as you can. Squeeze your fist as tight as you can. Well, it's not going to be very easy to bend your wrist back this way. When I squeeze my hand tight, when I make a fist on the golf club, this naturally flattens out. Well, in the golf swing, what we like to have happen is as we start that downswing, not only is the elbow going in, but my right wrist is fully laid back at this point. So this would be neutral right wrist. This would be full extension or fully laid back. As I'm starting down, I want to get that club fully laid back. You'll see that my left wrist is nice and flat as a result, and my club is shallowing out as I'm doing that. So now I'm in a position from here, my club is really laid back, my arm is still bent, and then from there I'm just letting everything go. I'm going to let my right wrist go from laid back and my elbow in to everything straightening out. This is what we talk about in the Top Speed Golf system as the straight line release. So we're building all this energy early in the downswing. We don't want to spend all this energy back here. We can't get tight with that right hand because the wrist will go flat. I'm going to store up that energy, and then from there, bam, I'm letting it go. I'm releasing everything in front of the golf ball. If you can imagine that I put a golf ball about 3 or 4 feet in front of the one that I'm hitting, I'm letting all the energy go toward that golf ball, and my ball that I'm hitting is just getting in the way. So let's go ahead and try that out. What I want you to do is go through these reps. Number one, let's try both extremes. Once you can feel the extremes with the elbow, it's much easier to do. So we're going to come down. I want you to pause halfway down when your left arm is about parallel to the ground. I want you to tuck that elbow in as far as you can go. That elbow would really be pointing in front of my body at that point. Then I want you to do another rep where you tuck the elbow out as far as you can go. That would be like this. Elbow's way out. So now I can start to feel those extremes out and in, and I can get a feel for where being more tucked in is. From this angle, it would look like that. I come halfway down. There's all the way in. There's all the way out. So I'm starting to feel the difference in what that would feel like. I'm trying to get that tucked in as much as I can. The second one is the right wrist. I'm going to go ahead and cast my wrist and get it to flex inward as much as possible, the wrong way. So now I'm casting the club way out here. I can feel my right wrist pushing, and then I'm going to do another one where I flex it as much as I can, or excuse me, extend it. This is called wrist extension, as back as far as I can. Again, looking from this way, here's my first one. I'm casting the club, no good, gonna lose tons of speed. The second one, I'm coming down and extending the wrist back as far as I can. So once we've done both of those, the reason that I'm doing this, there's a technique when we're talking about learning something really quickly. All the research out there shows variability training is the way to go. If we can feel both extremes, we can immediately identify which is right and which is wrong much quickly. You're going to save yourself hundreds, if not thousands of reps to get this correctly. So feel the extremes of the elbow, feel the extremes of the wrist. Then we're going to go ahead and put that together. Elbow in, wrist back, straight line release. Again, letting those hips open. Got to let that body rotate on through there. And then once we're there, let's go ahead, do about 100 reps of those practice swings. Then we'll take it out to the course and hit about 40 or 50 drives doing the exact same motion. There we go, guys. Work on that right wrist, get that to lag and then release. You'll be ripping that driver. All right, guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video, but I got a great bonus for you. If we want to be really good at golf, we want to have tons of speed, have a lot of fun, really start cranking that ball, we got to have a lot of lag and then release that lag to get tons of speed. I've got my #1 lag video. I'm going to play a preview of that here in a second. If you want to click the link that pops up on your screen, if you're on a computer, if you're on a tablet, a mobile device, you're going to need to click the iCard. You'll get instant access to that full video, plus you're going to get 5 videos from my Top Speed Golf system. Good luck to you guys. Good luck with that lag. Go out there, crush the ball, have some fun. I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.